school that is on fire in Monroe, Louisiana, and it happens to be struck by lightning. It was a storm that pushed through earlier this afternoon. We're getting word about 4:30 p.m. local time. And filming this is storm tracker Stephen Howe, who's on the phone with us. And Stephen, for folks who are just joining us, explain to them what we're looking at. And it looks like Boley Elementary School, I appear, near the Ouachita River is where this is at.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Boley Elementary School. Looks like it, from people that I've talked to, it got struck around 4:30 p.m. this afternoon and has been going on ever since for the last 5 hours. And fire department has been working to contain this thing. Thankfully, we had a few showers to help keep this thing contained. Also, pretty bad flooding in Monroe as well. But it's starting to die out now. Looks like firefighters have everything under control. And at this point, just trying to keep this thing from spreading.
Does it appear the school is in a total loss?
Yes, absolutely. From judging by firefighters' behavior, I just look like they're just trying to keep it from spreading and just going to go ahead and just keep it contained as opposed to trying to recover everything. It is at a complete loss at this point. It's collapsed in on itself, and there's just a few walls left remaining.
So I may have asked you this question in the last hour. Were you in Monroe when the storms rose through? And if so, describe what it was like. Was there anything that stood out to you that was unusual about these particular thunderstorms?
Well, as we were driving down the interstate, we basically drove in the storm on its way to Monroe. I mean, intense downpour, people driving as slow as 30 miles an hour on the interstate just to try to maintain a safe speed as they're driving down the road there. Multiple lightning strikes on trees, even ones that we witnessed, trees broken in half, branches all over the place that were very noticeably from lightning strikes. So when we came here and heard this, it was no surprise to us that a lightning strike had occurred and, of course, ended up in the fire that you guys see there.
And again, it's a Saturday, it's in the evening, and as far as you know, there happens to be no reports of any injuries. Yeah,
no reports of any injuries that I've heard. I've not actually seen any EMS on site other than the firefighters, but from my understanding, the building was empty and there's been no injuries.
All right, storm tracker Stephen Howe, thanks so much for talking with us and giving us some insight there out of Monroe, Louisiana. And again, Carl, this is just another factor that we got to deal with, the lightning, which has been extremely intense in some locations like there in Monroe.
You've got all hazards. You've got the lightning, you've got large hail. We've had tennis ball size hail. Damaging wind is going to be an ongoing threat going through tonight, and then also tornadoes as well.